are you? How are we doing, folks? It's Sunday night. I'm here for your listening delight. Once again, it's Audio Who. It's an outing for the First Doctor, albeit he's hardly in it. Maureen O'Brien and Peter Purvis, Vicki and Stephen with the crash of the UK 201. We have a wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey outing for Vicki with many numerous alternative lives, and Daddy Dearest shows up again. We're about to find out what we think of this tale, but before we get to that, let's get to this. It's our panel for this evening, joining us all the way from Tottenham, on his way to Madrid, because he can't afford it. It's Philip Archer. How's it going, Phil?
Good evening, one and all.
Good to see you, mate. Joining away for Chicago. He has a beard that must be feared. Texas Tim Wells. How are you going, Timbo?
Hello, how you doing?
Good to see you, mate. All the way from Mass, it's Sue. How good, it's Sue? Looking very pinkish in the face this evening.
Yeah, very pink. It's because of her. It's because of Vicki.
Oh my God. Okay. The less said about that, the better. All the way from the inner sanctum of his own bedroom, it's Jake. It's been a while, Jake. How are you, mate?
I'm doing great. Welcome back to my dominion.
Yes, indeed. Hello, you. And all the way from NYC, Mr. Momadina. How are you, Will?
Hey now. Happy Mother's Day in the United States, and it's fucking raining here.
Yes, happy Mother's Day everywhere.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day everywhere except the UK, because we would be fucking different and have it at the end of March. Whatever. But happy Mother's Day, ladies. So, guys, the crash of the UK 201. We have Vicki reliving her final outing, shall we say, before she ties up with Bill Hartnell's First Doctor. We have various alternate timelines. We have her father. We have people on the ship who will not believe her despite her best efforts to warn them. And we have many a strand within this tale. Where to begin? Philip, can I get your opening thoughts, please, on the the crash of the UK 201, Maureen O'Brien and Peter Purvis?
Opening thoughts. Okay. On first hearing it, I didn't realise how timey-wimey it was going to get.
Oh, fuck, it's timey-wimey, yeah.
Yeah, I did like the first outing of it, the first segment of the story before it started going all timey-wimey, because I thought that was a nice touch. That we learn about her father, we learn about the people on the ship, and then, of course, you know, the inevitable happens. But then I got confused with this. It kind of reminds me of Father's Day when you got the time changes, then you got the things like what do you call it in Father's Day, the Reapers?
Reapers, yeah, Reapers, yeah.
Whereas this has these other things, the other kind of creatures and things. So it's kind of similar to that story to a certain extent. Yes, as you said earlier, the Doctor doesn't feature much in this story, which is fair enough.
It's Dr. Light, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Light's story. I do love, I always adore listening to, what's her name that plays Vicki?
Maureen O'Brien. Yeah,
I do love listening to her because she's the only one I know that can still retain the voice of Vicki 50 years on. So
well, she's the only one that played Vicki, so go figure.
No, no, but you know how some people grow older and they lose the ability to sound like their character when they were young.
Okay.
She still has that kind of sweet little fairy tale voice of Vicki, and I love listening to her when she does a story. And but the story itself, it's okay till it gets a bit timey-wimey and time jumping here, there, and everywhere, and then I kind of lose a thread of it in my head because I'm like, okay, I know what they're trying to do, but I hate all this time jumping. I hate time jump stories anyway. They annoy me intensely. But it doesn't detract from the story itself. It's a good story.
All righty. Timbo, how are you, mate? LA Adventures?
You have to get back to me. I have a dog problem.
No problem. That's a little rough. Jake, you're up.
Right off the bat, I thought it's a brilliant little outing for Vicki, and as a companion story as a whole, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love Vicki. I think she's a great little companion, probably my favourite 60s companion out of what we have on TV. And I love how Maureen Bryan, like what Vicki said, like what Philip said, she still sounds like Vicki. And she had everything thrown at her this episode, and I think she portrayed herself so beautifully. It reminded me a little bit of Donna in Turn Left.
You just fucking took the words right out of my thoughts. Yeah.
You're welcome. It is very mindfuckery, but not too much.
Here we go.
I didn't understand it. I thought it was a lovely, superb outing from Johnny Morris, and I was worried I wouldn't enjoy it, but I bloody did.
Excellent. Well, what do you reckon, mate? Open thoughts?
Yeah, well, like these two, whatever I said, it's a great story, but right, like you say, the third to the fourth chapter, it got a little bit bugged out because she started jumping backwards in time.
Yeah, a bit convoluted. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kept scratching my head like, how is she's able to do it? Because because of course, when this guy was with the doctor and he explained that you're gonna go back and you might end up forgetting things like that. That in a way explaining how she's able to do it, but she didn't realize she's able to do it.
Yeah.
But it's a great story, but like they don't say, we see this on TV with Turn Left and called Father's Day, but in a way, we see more beyond it because we've seen a new life for Vicki when she prevented the crash.
Yep.
And then she started living her own life. I was very shocked that because how we seen the first doctor tell this lady that not to change one page of history, that
Barbara,
that even though it was in the ending that he didn't say, look, you should have realized you couldn't do nothing, but it was, but in a way it was a good that he didn't chew her up because that was the ending of the story like that. But it was unusual that that this guy was appearing just a few minutes after he last saw her, but she kept aging so much, and I was getting scared. I thought, what happened if she passes away? Because
for a minute there, I thought she was going to go Sarah Kingdom on her ass, but fortunately,
that's what bugged me out like that.
Yeah.
But what stood out, of course, that she had to realize that everything, even though she tried so many times to save like her father again, and then her children was resulting in not the way she wanted it. Yeah. She finally realized, I gotta go back and do everything the way it's supposed to be. But the thing is, she did keep the memory of it. So hopefully, but on YouTube, because she's a character in she didn't really stay that long in the TV. How long she stayed on with the first Doctor? A season and a half.
Yeah.
A year like that.
18 months, something like that.
Yeah. So that's not, because I don't remember that many stories with her that's available. Of course, a lot of law stuff. But I hope, in a way, it's good that we see about that. I hope, in a way, down the line, that they could do a follow-up to this character. What happened after she left the doctor? Did she finally get married and all that nonsense like that?
They did it. There's a companion chronicle that talks about.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and where was it?
But another good thing that stood out is that you had more cash in this story that I thought it was going to be a two-man crew like that. So that really stood out right there.
Excellent. There we go. And of course, everybody's favourite and yours, Miss Lisa Barman, was the director of this thing. So, yeah. That's the obligatory shout-out, Will, before you slap me my behind with a wet towel.
That's bonus points.
Yeah, there you go. Timbo, what do you reckon, mate?
Well, yeah, it's very good. It really gives Maureen O'Brien a chance to show off what she can do. It's almost a one-man show in a lot of ways. Both the doctor, it's very doctor-like, and even Stephen just pops in from time to time.
Yep.
But at first listen, I agree with Philip. I think it's very good, but it is a bit like Father's Day. I didn't really catch that at first. I was reminded more of Sapphire and Steel with the idea of time monsters breaking to correct things. But it does give you a good opportunity to understand Vicki's character. William's right. She was unfortunately let go way too soon on the TV series, and Big Finish has done a great job of putting in a lot of stories. In fact, I think there's 13 stories they put in now between Time Meddler and Galaxy 4. So, I mean, they've really filled in some gaps there, because Vicki and Steven are a great team, and they never really got a chance to shine on television, I don't think. Because once they got rid of her, they didn't know what to do with it. They kept on adding girl after girl. So,
sorry, Dodo.
But yeah, this is good. I think it goes on a little bit too long, though. I think, again, they're a slave to the format. This really would have worked as a 3 or even better, shorter episodes. Again, they were doing 30 to 35-minute episodes when they could have just got by with 25 or something, tighter story, because it does seem like they start to repeat themselves toward the end.
I probably can cover that. Yeah,
especially when Steven got arrested a bunch of times.
I think it's because they needed to close the loop, and that's why they kept repeating themselves.
as has been pointed out too, there's not a lot of new here. It immediately reminds you of Father's Day, and like I said, turn left in a lot of ways. So by making it a bit tighter, it would have helped the story better. But I'm not saying it's bad. I still think it's a great. And it does give you a look at her life before the Doctor as well. She's with her father. We never saw any of that. We only saw her with Coquelian, so it gives you some things. It fills in some gaps for her.
Yeah. No, that's very good point. Susan, how about you? Hold my thoughts.
Yeah, so I felt really strong for her because she had a whole life and raised children and, you know, had a husband and then she had to reset that, and when she reset that, she didn't get the same children back, and that was awful. I mean, she had invested and loved these children, and then, you know, to have to go back and have that reset and then have new children. I mean, it meant that she had to. Yeah, it meant that she had to relive her whole life through that, and that was immense. And then I loved how the Doctor was ghosting in and out, like kind of show up and then there was the couple of stooped characters in one of the parts. I didn't know who the heck they were, and they came in like ghosty. And then there was there was also the reset to the very beginning was I mean, she was being like directed by Steven, but also, I mean, she kind of figured it out for herself that here she had to learn the hard way that you can't start messing with the way of your own timeline. So it was really rich. It could have been shorter, and I know that the repeats were to close loops. And when you close a loop, that's where they had to make a reset point anyway.
Yeah, all right, fair dues, thank you. And yeah, I did enjoy this. Like the guys have alluded to, possibly a wee bit tad too long, but at the same time, I did enjoy the aspects of exploring Vicky's supported new life through this new timeline. Like the guys have alluded to, Father's Day was mentioned here, also turn left. Also, with regards to the kids and the family, I was happening back to even Donna and Forest of the Dead. She had her kids, and I know it was a Matrix type thing, but you know, I got a wee bit of that vibe there, even though her kids were on the head, yes, looked the same. But there we go. Interesting to get her backstory with regards to her father. And again, Stephen, Peter Purvis played his role here, even though, you know, Stephen was basically the supporting anchor, popping in and out, trying to guide her back to, you know, relevant timelines and whatnot. But interesting outing. What is the name of the creatures that were reset in time in this? Anybody?
Weren't they chronovores kind of things?
We don't get told what they
I don't
are.
think they were named.
They were not named. Okay, right.
Oh, sorry.
Right. So in that case, it's just something I likening to the Reapers, but they were never name checked. Okay, that's fine. Leave that one to the imagination. But all in all, yep, great story. But possibly could have been maybe a half an hour shorter. I think the thing was what 2:35 in total, but I think that was with the extras as well. So yeah. Good out nevertheless, but I mean, we're into season 5 of these early adventures, so again, they're just experimenting with the format as Tim alludes to. And with that, guys, any events or characters that stood out for you within this tale? Philip?
You can unmute yourself.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
You know, when the dad mentions to Vicki when she wakes up from being unconscious for a couple of days that they're going to meet the Didorans.
Yes.
Right. Was that ever mentioned in the TV show that she knew about the Didorans before the Doctor meets them in the TV episode? Because I'm confused.
Was it not on their planet where they met?
Yeah, but as far as the TV episode goes, was anybody aware of them before, or was it just Crow Quillen? Was he aware of them first?
I think it was Crow Quillen, wasn't it? Unless I'm
Yeah, because he used some of their weapons, or because he had some of their weapons and stuff, didn't he, at the time?
Yeah.
So he must have known about them. Okay, don't worry about it. Go on, carry on, Graham.
Anything stand out? Sure, you're up, mate.
Anything that stand out? Not particularly. I mean, because it was a repetitive story. Everything kept going back to the way things were, and back again and back again.
Yep.
I think the only thing I did like was the quiet moments of her reminiscing with her father about their mother. Her mother. That was quite a nice touch, because you don't hear enough about her mother. So all the family bits that we're learning about her and her backstory is what touched me the most about the story.
Fair enough. Timbo, anything for you? Or you fighting with the dogs again?
Well, I'll say that in addressing that she seemed more adjusted to the fact that she lost her mother than her father did.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yep.
But otherwise, yeah, basically it just offered some new background on a character you already pretty well know. I mean, in a way, it really rounded out her character quite a bit, which I thought was interesting because most of it's false. I mean, you get all these different timelines that could have been, but weren't. She, in other words, she stayed with the doctor till she left. None of that stuff ever happened. She left and married some guy in Troy many years before she ever lived and died. So, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, figure that one out.
Her life is a conundrum. Yeah. So, but otherwise, yeah, I just say overall, what impressed me the most was basically her performance. I think that she did a really great job. She even gets to play an old woman, which you see on the cover.
There you go.
It was really well done story. Even though, again, if only it had been a little bit shorter, it would be almost perfect. And like you mentioned, the director was superb. So there you go.
Of course, yes. Of course he was. And on that note, well, what do you reckon?
Well, the main plot of the story was stood out because we found out that a murder occurred, and then the sabotage charge that made the crash happen. What was unusual was that Stephen had to be there to help fix a little bit of the engine for him to be there in the front to help them crash. And of course, even though it was a different timeline, he died with the captain and the security and all that from the front part of that crash. I really stood out right there that because remember the first time nothing happened, so everybody survived. But when this happened, you notice that a lot of people died and a lot of people survived. But man, a lot of people died from that crash. That's the one thing that really stood out there. And of course, Vicky's life, from her getting married and all that stood out right there because like Texas said, we don't know that much background about her, so that really stood out right there.
Okay, cool. Jake, go for it, mate.
I feel like it's one of those instances where, like when Big Finish are experiencing something, it works quite well, taking the classic Who element and adding a sort of something that's more associated new Who into it. I thought it flowed quite well with each other, and I'm not really one that enjoys a story set in a story. Like, I'm not going to touch this next River Song box set of a barge pole because I think it's a fucking daft idea. But this worked really well because it had meaning and soul to it. If you know what I mean. It's not just her plonked in something that she doesn't understand, and you're still getting feelings of, like, the rescue as a TV story. I'd even have, like, Conquillion to appear, like, near the end sort of thing, so it, like, melts it even more into the rescue's going to happen for her next. And I like that it worked well enough that you don't really have to watch the rescue to understand what's going on, because it sort of explains it a bit, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I thought Maureen, what everyone has said, Maureen O'Brien was fucking brilliant in this. And I couldn't fault her performance. Whatever she was doing, she was good. And I thought it was a nice little story.
Okay, there we go. Mindfuckery, brilliant, and we're off to the races. Sue, what about you?
The family life stood out. I guess I agree with you guys that the bits where she's with her father, that was really poignant and cool and interesting. And so yeah, I'll second that. Thanks.
Okay, dokey, and there's not really much I can add to that. Yeah, we did get me a meeting the bones with regard to Maureen O'Brien's Vicki. It was mainly the backstory with her father and her mother, because subsequently the rest of that stuff never happened. As interesting as it was, by the end of this story, big reset button. That'll be a case of fuck you, Moffat, if he was still in charge, and no Ikey, never happened. But still an interesting tale, and Maureen O'Brien done a sublime job nevertheless. And with that, guys, open mic portion of the cast. Anything else you want to bring up before we get this rated, zippoed, and then we can.
Well, I like Captain Odessa. She stood out pretty good at that, being in security and all that.
Yeah, she was going nuts, wasn't she? Yeah, fuck.
I like that machine. Is that little lie detector machine that she used on Steven a bunch of
Oh,
times.
yeah, that's funny. That was funny.
That was funny.
I don't know what it was, but I was getting a Captain Phasma vibe off her, you know?
And her character was played by Carol Starks.
There you go. Nice outing for Carol there. Philip, anything?
Not particularly.
Oh,
No.
I had something.
Go for it.
At the beginning, when they were in that TARDIS, you hear that a TARDIS noise with all those beeps and everything. It reminded me so much of the beginning audio that I thought Susan was going to start doing her monologue like she does in the beginning. It automatically went into beginning mode. Then there's one bit that did make me giggle because I thought it was quite funny. When Vicki was falling through the vortex thingy, she made a fucking weird noise, like some sort of demented mating call. And it's
A dolphin or a whale. Yeah, you know.
It's kind of hiccup, wasn't it?
A hiccup, yeah.
Like a hiccup, yeah.
Yeah, but apart from that, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But it followed on from the last story. These four stories are all tied together as one long adventure for this Doctor and crew. So it's,
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I've only seen Dalek Invasion of Winter, which I also thought was quite
yeah,
good.
started with that.
Yeah, we've covered that one already, but yeah, that's good, yeah. Anything else, guys? No? Well, I guess since it's Sunday evening and I've had a fucking fabulous weekend, it's that time again.
FYI, ladies, just because the home pregnancy test came out negative doesn't mean you're still a virgin.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go. And you won't ride into town on a donkey either. So, yeah, the crash of the UK 201. Big Finish Early Adventure Season 5, Story Number 4. Maureen O'Brien and Peter Purvis. Okay, well, what do you give us out of 10, buddy?
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's a great story. Of course, the little jumping thing bugged me out, but I was able to absorb it and understood it. So I give it a 9 out of 10.
He's a big sponge and he's able to absorb it. Excellent. Philip, what's the number from Tottenham?
Well, from Tottenham, 1-0 today. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 because of the timey-wiminess, the time jumping. That kind of bogged it down a bit, as Tim said earlier today. It kind of bogged it down a bit. But I give plaudits for Maureen O'Brien for shouldering most of that story and giving it a good go.
Excellent. Well done, there you go, Maureen. Well done, dearie. And Timbo, what's the number from Techico?
Well, I'll go between and give it an 8.5. I think it's really good story, really interesting, really captivating. I just think it just goes on a little bit too long. And so I would appreciate it if it had been tighter. But there you go, picking all these zingers.
Okie-dokie. Sue, what say you?
I'll agree with Will. I'll set it at a 9. That's right.
Okay. Ringing in the ears. Ringing in the... Jake, what says you?
Like Tim, I'm going to give it an 8.5. But it's a good story, but I'm very hard to please.
How dare you? And I will concur with that. Maureen O'Brien's fabulous. I'll concur with Timbo and say it's just a tad too long. Dock off 20 minutes. You might get an extra point. I'll give this an 8 out of 10. Solid outing, solid tale, nice wee backstory, and lots of meat on the bone. And with that, done, dusted, and in the can for the evening, it just leaves us to divulge what we'll be tackling in 2 weeks' time. It is the turn of Patrick Troughton, aka Fraser Hines and his crew. And Phil?
We are going to hunt down the TARDIS in The Morton Legacy.
Oh my God, I remember the title. This is a glorious weekend, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Yes, we will give that a bash and we look forward to that. Please check out our buddies on the Wonderful Wackety World of the YouTube. You get the guys and dolls that geeks assembled with the TV, audio, head and movie reviews. You get Dr. Freedom, news broadcasts, and the Omega Files, as well as the adventures of Dr. Freedom, Eric. You've got Johnny Blue, Sammy Carter, Mike Sham, whenever we're online. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. We're getting the hell on out of here, guys. I've had a fucking stupendous weekend. Rangers beat Celtic. Lucifer was back. It was fucking phenomenal. Fuck you, Fox. We anxiously await season 5 and the return of the king. Good night, folks.
Be seeing you.
Good night. We see you.